Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be reviewing the manga series Snow Angel. I will also be explaining how this series relates to healing from the past and eldest daughter syndrome. The story starts off with two characters, Muku and Yuto. Muku and Yuto used to play together all the time as children. Then one day, Yuto and his family move away. As Muku grows up, she takes on a caregiving role within her family. She takes care of her grandpa, assists her mother with housework, and earns money to support the family. Muku is burnt out and wants to break free from her oppressive family. Muku lost her job and is now job hunting again. Then one day she is reunited with her childhood friend Yuto. After talking with Yuto, Muku decides to live for herself. Before reading this manga series, I heard a lot of people talk about how this manga relates to eldest daughter syndrome. There are many different definitions of eldest daughter syndrome. In a blog post on Talkspace, written by Bisma Anwar, who holds a MA, MSc, and LMHC, she wrote that, according to psychology researchers, eldest daughter syndrome is a cultural and emotional pattern where the oldest daughter in a family is expected, explicitly or not, to take on domestic responsibilities typically ascribed to a mother, father, or parent. This can include tending to sibling conflict or acting as a soundboard for a dad or mom's stress, and often it means that the oldest daughter are expected to grow up fast. She gives another shorter definition, which is an informal term describing the pressure firstborn girls often face to act as caregivers, mediators, and role models from a young age. So the term eldest daughter syndrome is not a term that is recognized in the DSM-5, but it is used to describe the shared experience of firstborn daughters. Eldest daughter syndrome includes having a hard time asking for help, feeling guilty, and feeling that your identity is tied to productivity. Clinical psychologist Dr. Avi Gale goes further into this definition. Eldest daughters often feel an overwhelming sense of responsibility to ensure that everyone in the family is taken care of, and these psychological challenges can extend into their relationships in adulthood. Dr. Abigail also explains how this relates to the birth order theory. The birth order theory proposed by Alfred Adler, who was a medical doctor, psychotherapist, and founder of the School of Individual Psychology, explains how each sibling has attributes based on their birth order. For example, the oldest child, according to Alfred Adler, is responsible, a leader, ambitious, well-behaved, and confident, which are similar traits to the eldest daughter syndrome. Now I want to talk about how the eldest daughter syndrome relates to Muku. Muku is the caretaker of her grandparents, especially her grandfather. Her mother relies on her to help out as well. Muku's younger sister wants to help her out, but Muku encourages her to chase after her dreams and not end up like her. The mangaka conveys Muku's stress through her drowning. The pressure is so much that she feels a sense of emptiness, exhaustion, and anxiety. It's clear that Muku loves her family, but her family is also a source of pain. We as readers can see that Muku wants to be there for her family, but she also wants to do things that are fulfilling to her. The only way Muku feels relaxed is when she is reading, and this becomes important later on in the story. Next, I want to talk about my experience as the eldest daughter and explain what I think the story got right and what it didn't get right. I could totally relate to Muku. I understand the feeling of wanting to be there for your family and loving them, but also feeling so much weight and pressure of just meeting their expectation and wanting to be the best that you can be, but also feeling like your best may not be enough. The mangaka uses being underwater as a way to symbolize Muku's feelings, which I feel like was a really great thing to do. I could really relate to Muku in those moments when she's overthinking. You see all her thoughts and she's drowning in the water. I could totally relate to feeling that way, as though you really can't breathe and you're having all these thoughts running through your mind. And you just see the weight of anxiety, frustration, confusion, loneliness, and so much more in those scenes. As the eldest daughter, it's expected of you to set an example for your younger siblings. Not only that, but it's to be the best at everything, have everything in check, and to be level-headed, and be the dependable one, the reliable one, take care of everyone around you, and so on. I remember wishing for a long time that I had an older sibling, that I wasn't the oldest, and that there was just somebody above me who I can look up to and rely on and ask for advice. Since there's not another sibling to look up to, as the oldest sibling, you have to be resourceful of where you get your help, be resourceful of getting the things that you need, and so on. I think this manga really nailed it in showing the pressure and how hard it is to choose yourself as the eldest daughter. the feeling of guilt doesn't go away so easily, and we see that when Muku decides to focus on herself. Next, I want to talk about healing. Theodora Blanchfield defines emotional healing as the process of acknowledging, allowing, accepting, integrating, and processing painful life experiences and strong emotions. It may involve empathy, self-regulation, self-compassion, self-acceptance, mindfulness, and integration. She explains in her article that at some point we all need emotional healing, usually from common life stressors, such as breakups, illness, job loss, and so on. Every character within this story is healing from something. Everyone is carrying some sort of guilt or trauma. The mangaka shows how the events of their childhood impact them in adulthood, from the way they handle conflict, make decisions, and express their emotions. The mangaka shows how failing to heal from our past can hold us back. When we hold our pain in and don't heal from it, it can manifest into something ugly. We cannot be perfect, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't try to become better. For example, Muku's family carries a lot of pain and trauma, and all that pain and trauma then just goes on to Muku. Another lesson from this manga series is that we cannot expect other people to change. We can, however, change ourselves. It is more productive to heal and invest in yourself than to wait for somebody else to change. The story was also great in showing how even when we change, there are some things that remain the same. We as the readers see each character still has some personality traits from their childhood that they express. Whether it is how they are still shy, talkative, cautious, etc. It also shows how we should appreciate people for who they are and encourage them to be their best. I think this story was more about Muku and the other characters healing from their past. I think the mangaka did focus on eldest daughter syndrome in the beginning. However, it felt as though the eldest daughter syndrome was an issue happening in the background, while the main issue at focus was healing from the past. There are some parts of this story that I felt could have been handled better. Other parts of the story felt a bit too unrealistic. I still enjoyed reading this series, and I think everyone should give it a try. This manga series is completed with 4 volumes. That is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have read Snow Angel, let me know your thoughts on it, and let me know if there's any other manga series that also cover eldest daughter syndrome or healing from the past. And until next time, bye-bye. We're literally done. We're like literally done, girl. We're literally. This is the job. This is mine. Oh no.